Day means to me to remember the men and women who went to go fight, but also to remember the people who were left here in Australia.
Remembrance Day to me, it means something very special. It's a very special occasion that only happens once a year. It's to help us never forget the men and women who went to war, some people who came back and some people who didn't.
Remembrance Day is a day to remember the sacrifices that the soldiers made for our freedom
in Australia, and so we never forget everything they did for us.
Remembrance Day to me is just it just means to me just how much those people fought for us, how much bravery they took, and just all the emotions that everyone was feeling at that time. It's just amazing how they could do that for their country, for their people. Yeah.
Remember we will. Do you remember those that fell, the many that ran into the fires of hell? Or reflect on the families left behind to raise their young with only a shrine?
They fell for your freedom, your families as well, and all that we ask is you remember them well. It's one day a year, a minute at that. We stop for the fallen, it's time to look back. They fell for your freedom, your families as well. Now all that we ask is to remember them well.
So for me, Remembrance Day is being able to honour all of the soldiers and all of the servicemen and women who have and who still do serve. But also it's a special day where I get to remember those members of my family who gave their lives. I was lucky enough to go and visit their graves over in France on the Western Front, and it's just a really good way of showing thanks and of expressing our gratitude towards them for giving up life so that we can have peace and live in a peaceful world.
It reminds me of our responsibility, actually our privilege, to recognise our wonderful veterans who fought and risked their lives for us to have a better world and a safer life.
So back in the end of 2018, some of the choir and some members of Barrel High, we all went over to the Western Front, and there we went to Ypres and got to see Men Gate, and I have a family member on my father's side whose name is written on Men Gate, and I was the first one ever of my family to go and see that name, so it was a really special moment. And I also got to see family member on mum's side. We went to the cemetery that he was buried in as well, and I was more emotional and cried more than I thought I would, especially being the first one there. It was just so nice to be able to finally get there and finally say like thanks and leave a poppy and just give them the recognition they deserve, because for so long no one's been able to do that, so it was really nice to be the first. Yeah, I got to sing. We sung Young and Free in the cemetery, which was really special because the family member of mine, I think he was 21 when he died, so he was a year older than I am, and he gave up his life. He was young, he was free. We weren't one and free back then, we were still young and free back then, but that was really nice because they were the singing soldiers. That's what the Anzacs were known for, and being able to like go and kind of have a song in the cemetery and fill it with music again, like that's what they would have done in the trenches, so it was so nice to be able to go and sing.